What is going on, guys? It's your girl Chloe, back at it again in the shop with, of course, the Jeep that we've been taking to shows all of this year, and we will be bringing with us to SEMA. So in this video, I am going to be showing y'all how to replace the headlights. These are the new XKGLOW headlights, so these are the super cool ones that are gonna change colors and do crazy cosmic things. And so I'm going to show y'all how to install them. So let's get right into it. So look at how disgusting this front of this Jeep is. Wow. We got Larry chilling over here in the corner. But anyway, so we're gonna pop all of these little clips off so that we can work on getting the grill off. So I got my handy dandy little pry tool doodad. I already have one of those popped up right there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to show y'all how I get this one up very gently as to not break them. There you go. You want to be gentle so you don't break them. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that. So this top part is your little locking mechanism. So once you have that popped up, this comes up and out. So they just come out just like that. So for instance, on, I don't know where you can see it, right here, on this one, the lock is popped out, and you take your little pry tool, and then you just gently pry that out, like that, and it comes out. Voila, there you have it. So then you just gently pull out, and it just pops out. Like that. So yeah. Okay, so basically after you popped that out, these are the little clips that you're pulling out, the little body clips that you're pulling out from these retainers right here. So that's when you just gently pull out and they come unclipped, and then you can take the whole thing off. Okay, so now that we have our grill off, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all how we get the old headlights out. So they have 3 bolts, and you have one right here, one right here, and one right here. It is a 10mm. I'm using a 1/4 drive because they're not that big. It's my favorite tool in my whole toolbox, and a 10mm socket. I just use a deep one because I didn't want to have to bring out an extension. It don't really matter because it's the easiest way to get to them, in my personal opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and take those off. So now you got your 3 bolts, put them in a safe spot where you're not gonna lose them. And then this just pops right out, straight out, like that. And then, there we go, okay, just like that. So it just came unplugged, and there's the back of it where it was plugged in at, right there. So yeah, there you go. So now you got your headlight out. Ta-da! This is your OEM harness for it. And now I'm gonna show you what comes in the box when you order it from XKGLOW. Okay, so when you order your kit, this is pretty much what shows up. Very cool packaging, very pretty. These are the 7-inch headlights. These are actually 9 inches, so they have adapter plates for the JTs, but I'll get into that in a second. So here's the super cool box, lovely, wonderful. I mean, obviously I kind of already took everything out to explain better. But anyways, so here are the 2 new headlights. Each come with 2 of these wiring adapters on them. So you have this one for the mini controller, looks like that. And then you have this 3-prong, which is for the OEM harness adapter that you'll plug into. So left and right, all right? Obviously, it comes with instructions and warranty details. Wonderful, love it, marvelous. That's like my favorite thing, is having instructions. So also in this box, you have your main harness. So you have power and ground that goes to your battery, all the way down to this little control module. This is your on and off switch. So you can just on and off it right there, like that. To these two split off for the left and right mini controllers. So here, these just plug into there like this. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. There you go. So there you go. And then these also have little tiny switches on them as well. Sorry, they're all greasy and gross because I had everything connected and then unplugged it all. So yes, so one's to the left side, one's to the right, and I'll get into more depth as far as how those go. But these are little tiny mini controllers for each headlight, and those plug into the black parts right here on each of them. So they just go into that little slot right there where the little knobby doodad is, and there's a little knobby doodad right there on this one. So that's how they get plugged into. And then you also have little butt connectors and to tap into the turn signals. And then these plug into these harnesses right here that also come in this kit. These are not the OEM harness for the JTs. So getting into that, you have this other nice, wonderful box that are the JT mounts. So for instance, this one, they're obviously side oriented. This one goes in here like this. Just wonderfully fits like that. If I can kind of mock up how to show y'all. So it just slides in like there, and then your headlights go inside of this ring, which I'll obviously show later. So with this kit, you also have the JT OEM plug-in adapters as well. This side obviously goes into the new headlights with the 3-prong, and this side fits perfectly into the OEM harness on the Gladiator right there. And here it is plugged in on this side. So these are what you'll be using for the adapters instead of those ones that came with the kit. So just keep that in mind. If you're doing a Gladiator, you need those as well. Okay, so I have this other one already mocked up in on the passenger side. I showed that one on my Instagram reels. So now it's time for the driver side, and I can show y'all how to do it on here. Let's get it. So I have the driver side little split for, well, this is like the little adapter harness. So this side's gonna go into your OEM harness right here, and this side is the 3-prong that plugs into the new aftermarket light. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in now so that it's ready to go. Snapped in place, make sure it's in there good. You should hear like that little click sound of it clicking into place. And so now it's ready for the new aftermarket headlight to be put in. Okay, so now you have the JT adapter mounts. So if you notice on these, they have these little notches on them right here and right here, because these are the bolt holes and these are like the little notches that they have here and here. So I'm gonna just mock this up to show you where it's going to mount at, put it over those notches, and then boom, it fits right there. So your headlights are going to fit inside of this ring right here. So you have to take out this screw, right, this little guy right here, this little guy right here, and this one right there, so that this front plate will come off and you can install your headlight inside of here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this front plate off and show you how to install it inside the new adapter. Okie dokie. So now I have my little screws ready to come out. We've got one. Don't lose them, and don't strip them either. So once you have these guys out, as I drop one, nice. Hold up. Okay. Pass little one. Okay, so then you take your cover piece right here away from the base of it. Set that aside for a second. And then I'll show you how I did the other side. So on your adapters, so this would go in like this. That's the orientation of them. You have these little square notches that are on it like this. See? Wonderful, like that. Okay. So I just put it up here, mocked it up so I didn't put them in upside down or whatever. I don't think there's an upside down or whatever, but when you look at them, they have little writing on them right here. It might be really hard to see, but it basically says XKGLOW DOT approved. Yeah. So I just put that on the bottom so you can actually read what it says. So yeah. Also, on the back of here, those little notches are what these fit into. Right there, there's one right here, and then of course the third one right there. So those notches are what you want to match up on your adapter plate. So I'm gonna feed these through here on the back side so they don't get squished. Here's my bottom right there. And then I just feed it into the squares on the adapter. Once I have it in place, I bring it back out. And then I have it just set into where it needs to be. And there you have it. Ah, stay. So there you go. And then I take the little plastic doodad off so that I can put the top piece on that holds the headlight into the adapter. So then I have my little guy right chilling right here. And then this can only go on one way, so you just gotta match up where the holes go. And did we get it on the first try or no? No, keep turning it. Okay. Hold up. Go. Oh, there we go. Okay. So then that just clips over like this. And then you're going to start your screws back here, in here, and in the third slot right there. So I'm going to do that like this. So there you have it. You just gotta put your screws back. Where's the hole? Right there. And in the other two places. So yeah. Let me do Okie dokie. So I've got my new plate over top of the headlight, screwed down, hand tight, wonderful. And now I'm ready to start plugging stuff in. So I'm going to go ahead and just set that in right there. Look at that. And then I'll go ahead and plug in my little 3-prong plug. There you go. Alright, there you have it. So I'm going to throw a bolt in there so it doesn't fall out if I bump it or whatever. And I'll leave those right here so that they're easily accessible for the rest of the wiring funnery that I have to do. So I'm going to just stick that in there, keep it secured. Okay, that way if I bump it or whatever, it's not going to go yeet and go and then it's a disaster. So we don't want that. So I'm just going to, that's my insurance. Save 15% or more on car insurance with Geico, or just sticking a bolt in there, which was super easy. So anyways, so now I have everything easily accessible so that I can test everything and then I can go in and secure everything and do all that fun goody things. So let's move on. Okay, so now I have this side running to the driver's side and this one running to the passenger side. This is my other little harness with my power and ground that I threw up there by the battery. Not touching the battery yet because we're not ready for that. And then it goes to the on-off switch right here, to the little split off where the mini controllers plug into here. So I unraveled the driver's side and ran it to that side, and now I'm ready to plug in my passenger side. So here's the other little wiring adapters that they give you with the little bullet connectors. They just plug in right there, like that. I'll show you here, but pretend it's still plugged in. So I just wanted to show you on these up close and personal. Ew, there's so much grease on these little guys. So they have these little notches. I don't know if you can tell or not. They're the little notches. And that is what plugs into the other side of the wiring on your headlights. So they just click into place like that. There's also little buttons on these right here. But here we are. There you be. And voila, everything is now plugged in. Now, the yellow wire we'll get to later, because that is actually for your turn signals. But anyways, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Now that everything is plugged in, we can go ahead and test it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all what it looks like and test everything to make sure everything comes on and functions properly. Technically, I already did this before I installed everything because I wanted to do a little excitement unboxing type video. So I already knew that they worked, but now that they're in, I want to show y'all what you should have looked for before even doing all of this. So definitely always test your products beforehand by plugging everything in. That's why everything was all greasy, because I already had everything plugged in, but I want to do an installation video, so there's that. But anyways, let's see what they look like. So I've got my black one, which is my negative one, my red one, which is my positive, and I'm just going to set it on the battery and test it. So I have my red one right here and my negative. Ta-da! They work. Lovely. No flickering, no inconsistencies, no hot wires, so that's good. So yeah, everything works. Lovely. And then you move on to now the most fun part of routing everything so that it's not in the way, it doesn't get overheated, it doesn't get caught in the fan, and it looks clean and organized. And that is always the most time-consuming part in my personal opinion. So yippee. Hello, it's the next day because, you know, your girl was tired, so I didn't end up finishing the wiring, but here we are. So this is how I have it laid out. Okay, so now I'm going to show y'all how I have the wiring harness laid. So it's going to be ran up here, obviously, in a much orderly, neat fashion. Oh yes, gotta love the broken nail. Gotta introduce that. So I have my passenger side going over here to my little mini controller, and then this will be the turn signal tap in wire so that we have our turn signal function, and then we have the power going to the power and the ground going to the ground. That's the black wire, and this is the solid red one. I already have the driver's side all hooked up, so I'll show you kind of how I did that one. Okay, so we have this one that goes to the other side to the mini controller, and I have it tapped into the turn signal right here. So they have a little T-clip right here, and it comes with this I don't know what the heck you call it. It's like basically just a T-clip to your turn signals that go into the fenders. So that's tapped in there, and then you have your little mini controller here, which we had already connected to Bluetooth, and I'll show you how to do all that as well. But now that you see that everything is hooked up, here we are in the app. We already have it hooked up right here, and we're just gonna go ahead and turn it on, and voila, it's on. And so we'll give a little synopsis of stuff and how it works. Go to the solid color so we're not giving people seizures. Lovely. So there you go. I'll go into more depth with that, but that's just the basic overflow of everything. So driver's side's completed. So then you're going to search XKchrome LED light on Apple Store or wherever you download your apps from on your device. Once it's downloaded, click on OK to use Bluetooth. Then go to palette right there in the corner. Go to start pairing. It says, hello, do you want to pair the controller with your smart device now? Next. Step 1 of 2, connect the controller to power and turn it on. So I already have it connected to my power. I turn it on with the little on-off switch right here. I just click this little button, off, on. See that your lights are on, okay? Now you're gonna have to connect to each side separately. So we're doing the driver's side first. So step 1 is complete. Go to next, pairing. So basically you're just going to get that close to the controller. Oh, crap. And yeah, so there you go. I don't know if you just saw that or not, I'm so sorry. But basically it will pair to the controller once you have it close to the controller. Okay, don't use your lights while driving down the road, that's a no-no. And now you're connected. So this little 1 means that you are connected to one side. See how the other side's not connected? 1 is now your driver's side, because you can control them separately. Like half the video. Okay, so we had to wait for it to be nice and dark outside so we could do the adjustments on the beams. So with that, there's 3 adjustment screws on the beam, or on the crown piece right here. You have one up top, which brings it up or down. You have one on the side and this side, which brings it left or right. And to adjust it, I use a 4mm Allen with the long edge, so it's easier to adjust that way and reach instead of trying to do it that way. It was just easier to go around like that. So the RGB is on right now, but these main driving bulbs are the middle ones, and those are the beam that you want to be left or right, in and out, based on obviously your adjustments. So you just take it out. I backed it out of the shop, closed the door, and used the line from the door for reference to get them both even. And then we took it out on the side road to see if it was too far out, not enough beam in, too high up or too down. So always do it with your driving lights first, and then you can adjust the brights if need be. So there you go, which is very helpful, especially when you have higher lifted vehicles. So now we're ready to put the grill back on. Let's do it. All done.